I used to eat a lot when I was growing up. Like, people would always say, man, you eat a lot, bro. Like, like it was a compliment. Like, and I took it up. I was like, yeah, I eat a lot. Like, man, I wish I was you, bro. When I was younger, I ate like 3 bowls of rice or something, and this and this. And yeah, man, those are the good old days, man. I wish I could be you, something like that. And I took all of that up. I was like, yeah, I can eat a lot, bro. And I took that all the way to till I'm like 20, 21 right now, and I'm having the same eating habits when I was like at 10 or 12 or 15 years old, where I'm just eating and eating and eating and I just don't get full. I miss those days, but I realize now that I'm not really growing vertically anymore. I'm like growing horizontally if I eat a lot. So I gotta actually control my diet now. And I had some struggles, the last 1 or 2 years with like controlling my diet because I was so attached to this identity of being someone that eats a lot. I was always the guy that ate the most, in the family table. I was always the guy that that people would be like, "Hey, you want more rice? Oh yeah, hey, let's save some for this guy, man. He's gonna eat all of it." I was always that guy. I always had that pressure to live up to that. And these people, they're not manipulative. I'm not gonna blame them. It was my fault. I fell for that bull. I fell for that manipulation. I fell for that shit. It's my fault. I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just saying how I saw it. So yeah, I fell for that shit. I ate and when people said, "Hey, you have more rice," I'm like, "Yeah, I can take more rice." Yeah. And after a while, I just realized, man, like I can't be eating like that forever. Like yeah, I'm gonna grow up eventually, and my metabolism is gonna slow down eventually. I mean, it's not gonna stay the same until I'm like 70 or 80 years old. I do hope it stays the same, but biology doesn't work that way. So it is what it is. But yeah, I realized like because I'm an athlete, like it shouldn't be that hard to restrict dieting, right? Like it shouldn't be that hard. It I should be able to just like diet easily and know that I'm an athlete and I eat the right foods. But it's not that simple because you have to know like the root cause of overeating. Like why do I overeat? Like for my case, why did I overeat? Well, because like I was known as the guy that overate. I was known as the guy that just ate a lot, and I lived up to that identity that people gave me. So if you're in like whatever, you're a girl or you're a guy, you have to think like, why am I overeating? Why? Is it because like my parents said like, oh, little baby, man, you eat a lot. You're gonna grow up someday or something like that. Or like, yeah, you're gonna eat more to grow up. Like these things that you were told when you were a kid, they come up in the future. If you don't address them, if you're not aware of them, you might just be unconsciously eating more calories without knowing where all these like these past influences from your parents, they actually like do affect your present actions. So you have to be aware of them. And once I realized that, I was like aware, like, oh shit, yeah, I was kind of attached to the identity of being someone that overate. What if I change that identity to be someone that, hey, like, okay, I'm gonna be that guy now that doesn't overeat. I'm gonna be that guy that always says no to like desserts or something, just to create a new identity, to be someone new. And I know like it's I guess it is easier for me because I am still relatively young. But if you're 30 or 40 years old, then you're gonna have to do some big deep digging. You gotta dig deep, like dig deep into your childhood and realize why you were eating so much when you were a child, or why you were eating so much when you were in your 20s or something, and why you don't exercise. Because there's a root cause. There's a deep cause. Maybe it's childhood trauma, or people treated you differently, or something bad or good happened to you that made you who you are today, and you have to address those things seriously. Because I feel like we're in a world now where like we address the symptoms, but we don't address the root cause. We ignore the root cause. We just like give the symptom as the solution. Like, oh, you're fat? Okay, go to the gym, man. Sign up for this membership. You know, just diet. Yeah, just diet, and you're gonna solve all your problems. And once they go through the program, 6 months, and they get their dream body, 6 months later, after they're off the program, and then they get fat again. Yeah. So you gotta change your identity. You gotta change who you are, and you gotta address the real cause behind your actions. Why are you doing it? They don't. That's how change lasts forever. You don't want to change for just like 12 months and be back where you are again 12 months later. You want to like be a new person. That's what you want. You don't want to change for a season. You want to change for a lifetime. You want to change. You want to become a new person where you gotta kill yourself. You know, you want to kill yourself. You want to kill the version of you right now to be a new version, to be that person that you want to be. And in order to do that, you gotta kill yourself right now, like the version of you right now, of course, not kill yourself literally. And you gotta know the rooted cause. Like, why am I doing this? Well, there was also one thing like my mom always said, like, oh, if you finish your food on your plate, your wife's gonna be beautiful in the future. And I fell for that too. I was like, oh yeah, I want a hot wife, so I'm gonna eat everything. I'm gonna eat everything on my plate. You know, yeah. You know, there's something this Chinese culture. They said like, if you leave food on your plate after you eat, sorry about that, like your wife's gonna have pimples or something, like some bullshit like that. And then I believed it. I was like, yeah, I don't want my wife to have pimples, so I just ate cleanly. I was like, yeah, my plate is clean after I eat. I know it sounds a bit shallow, but I just thought it was funny, so I just brought it up. I'm sure some of you have probably been told that, you know, when you were young, like, yeah, if you eat cleanly and and you don't leave anything in your plate after you eat, man, your wife's gonna be beautiful in the future. Yeah, it could be true though, or it could be just bullshit. You never know. But yeah, you know, and I also always think that, well, I mean, African kids, you know, they wish, you know, I was always told too that, hey, people in Africa, you know, they don't have food, man. They would die to have your food right now. Which, you know, I agree with that. But most people, you just conform and immediately like, oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I eat everything that's on this plate. But if you're like fat as fuck and you want to lose weight, then you probably shouldn't be finishing that plate, right? You probably shouldn't be eating that last grain of rice that's on that plate. Even though you're doing it like, even though you're like pissing off like the African people, not pissing off the African people, you're pissing off the people that claim that they care about the African people. You're pissing them off. You're not really pissing the African people off, I think. I think the African people are like, they probably like are happier than you. They're probably happier than people in the modern world. Like they don't care about these petty shit. They don't care. They don't live in the world of like virtue signaling and people trying to virtue signal, show that they are good, you know, show that they are a good person. You know, if you're a good person, you don't need to show that you're a good person. Like, you just are. You just is. And if people think you are, it is what it is. Like, you don't really have to prove it, because you are it. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to show. You are just that person. I mean, occasionally it is okay to show that you are a good person, but I don't like it. I don't like to show that I'm a good person or a bad person. I just like to be the person, and you know, the market can judge however they want to judge. You know, if you think I'm a good person, then cool. Yeah, if you think I'm a bad person, that's cool as well. That you're gonna have enemies in this world anyways, so you might as well just enjoy having them. And yeah, So yeah, just find the deep reason, why you're doing something, why you're eating this thing, why you're eating that chocolate. Is it because you actually want to eat it? Or is it because you think that, oh yeah, my body needs sugar. My body needs sugar to function. That's why I'm eating it. Like, like, because people, like, we don't want to admit that we just want like a tasty food. Like, we just want to satisfy our cravings. So we just say like, oh yeah, I need sugar to function. Oh yeah, I have a workout later. So I gotta take some sugar, I gotta enjoy some sugar so I can burn it off later. Even though you know it's bad for you. Because I know this because I've tried to convince myself in the past, like, oh yeah, I have a workout later. Yeah, I do triathlon. Yeah, I can definitely have this chocolate. I'm gonna burn it off later. It doesn't matter. You try to convince yourself these things, like, I know it sounds like little things, but these little things, they compound. Have you read The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy? Yeah, that's a really good book. I don't know. I think if you guys want to, if you guys are free, if you guys are interested, that's a good book to read. But yeah, like these little things, these little decisions, they compound. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years from now, it probably wouldn't matter. But 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the road, then you start to see the big differences. So I gotta compound now. I gotta compound with good habits, with good eating habits, and stop like overeating, and start saying no to desserts. Sometimes it's okay to have a cheat meal. But yeah, I just want to create this identity of being someone that does not eat a lot and that controls his diet. And you can be that someone too. You can be that someone too. You just have to find the root cause. You have to be self-aware. I'm not a weight loss coach or anything. I'm just a dude sharing my experience that could help with your, weight loss journey or whatever you're going through, or you're overeating or something. Because I made an overeating video some time ago, and I found like a lot of people found it relatable. So I guess like I would make another video following up, like saying like my experience, like sharing my experience and sharing like my opinion on how it could help you guys. And it's totally for free. And I'm not gonna charge anyone for this. I'm just sharing my experience. But yeah, I think like if you guys just like took some time, 10, 15 minutes, or like maybe when you're driving, just to think about, why am I overeating? There's a reason for it. There's a unique reason just for you. Like probably something happened when you were a kid. You have to go back. You have to rewind and go back to the past, dig deep in the past, and find out, why did you do it? Why did you start overeating? Why did you know that you were full already and you still ate that chocolate in the end? Why? No, it's not just because you wanted to satisfy your cravings or you just want to be full. There's a deeper reason to it. And you gotta be self-aware. You gotta actually dig deep and ask yourself. And once I found that out, I was like, damn, okay. I'm actually losing some weight now. Like, it doesn't feel like I'm actually trying, because I'm actually becoming a new person. Because once you break that identity, then it's like, yeah, of course I'm gonna be like in good shape. Of course, I'm someone that eats clean. I'm someone that diets well. You become that person. You don't change anything. You just become the new person. So I think changing your identity is definitely like how you look at yourself, your self-image, how you see yourself. I think that is really important. If you see yourself as someone that overeats a lot, then you probably tend to overeat. But if you see yourself as someone that's disciplined and says no to desserts, then you probably say no to that dessert, and you probably say no when people say, "Hey, have that more rice." I think that helped me. I don't know if it might help you guys or not, but yeah, change your identity and find out the cause of your overeating. I think that will help you guys. Just simple. This is free information. This is free. Maybe you guys can comment down below like what tricks you guys use normally, because I am still like I don't really have to lose weight. Like I just don't want to be too buff because like I gotta lose weight. I gotta lose weight for triathlon. I gotta be like in race weight, which is like for me I think 60, 64, 63 kilos. I'm like probably 68 kilos right now, so I'm a bit overweight for my sport. So yeah, that's the only reason I'm losing weight. And yeah, I thought maybe losing weight as a triathlete could help like the general public that's just losing weight just to lose weight. Because I don't know why, like I exercise like twice a day, and I still struggle with losing weight sometimes, like honestly. But yeah, maybe it gets harder as you lose more weight. But yeah, I just thought of sharing this. So yeah, man, if you guys can discuss like what tricks you guys use in the comments down below, feel free to share them. Feel free to share them. I'll probably be replying to them. I'll probably be learning from them as well. I'll probably be using some of the tips. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that one. I hope it helped you guys. I hope it helped you guys in some way. Maybe you guys could really use some of the tips and actually just realize what reason, why do you do what you do? Why do you overeat? Like, there's a deep rooted reason for it. And once you fix that, then everything else becomes easy. That's my opinion. But yeah, that's it for tonight. Peace.